Salute to everybody in the building. Hit that like button as you come on in. We got to talk about it, man. We gonna start talking about it. May change the title to the stream, but right now I'm just leave it how it is. But we got to talk about it, man, because there's been a lot of talks about this fight, man. There's been a lot of talks, and I know you guys want to talk about it because it's the big one. It's the big one between Canelo Alvarez and Terrence Bud Crawford. Is going down this upcoming September. And after Canelo Alvarez's last fight, I think a lot more people believe that Terrence Bud Crawford really has his chance to win this thing. We gonna talk about it. Salute to everybody in the building. Hit that like button. You come on in. WJ Lucky, salute. Bud gonna stop Canelo, salute. Cerebral, salute. Basket Rock, salute. G-Man, salute. Bills Boot Camp, salute. I was about to say BBC, but Bills Boot Camp, salute. J-Rod's Level Up Boxing, salute. What's going on, man? Y'all go subscribe to J-Rod's Level Up Boxing TV. We got to talk about this Canelo fight, man. Because, people come for your boy Bushido, and, I got to I like to antagonize a little bit, you know. I may say some things like, Canelo's borderline shot. He got two left knees. He's blind in the ring. He can't see. He's slow. I may say some crazy shit. And it begins, you guys. It begins. This whole thing, it starts now. I'm waiting for some more people get in here.
Canelo, I'm coming, my puta. Hey!
Yeah, they've been coming for your boy. They've been coming for your boy. Canelo's too big. There's weight classes for a reason. Crawford's too small. Yet we see footage of them facing off, right? Not the one with Dana White, but the one when they was inside the palace or whatever. Crawford had like a green polo on or whatever, right? And Canelo had them shoes on. And y'all know what shoes I'm talking about. Them shoes that the shorter guys wear. Now, if you're one of those guys, I'm not, taking shots or nothing, but the shorter guys, for whatever reason, they tend to wear these shoes with stacks on them. It looks crazy, but it makes them taller. And Canelo Alvarez now is the same height as Terrence Crawford. I can't pull up the photo right now because StreamYard is on some okie doke, and I ain't got my thing set up. But yeah, he has some stacked shoes on to match the height of Terrence Crawford because when they was facing off, Crawford appeared to be the bigger guy when they was in the ring. Is Crawford bigger than Canelo? I don't know. You said Canelo had platform shoes. Yeah, he did, man. So he's feeling just honestly, you guys, if that wasn't a thing like for him, he wouldn't even wear them fucking shoes. Since when did Canelo start wearing platform shoes, bro? You know what I'm saying? When did Canelo start wearing Tank Davis shoes, bro? I ain't never seen it. He fought a lot of taller fighters, taller than Crawford even. He ain't never wore no damn stacked shoes, bro. Y'all smash the like button, man. We gotta ask why he wearing these stacked shoes. Is he feeling some type of way? Is he surprised at how big Crawford was when he was staring at him face to face? He might be a little surprised at how big Bud was. He's like, oh shit, damn, he's bigger than I thought. I thought he was too small. Fuck. Damn. Right? Yeah. You said, oh shit, here we go again. That's right, man. Here we go again, bro. Here we go again, man. Canelo fans don't like to show up on the lives, bro. I'm kind of waiting for Canelo fans to come. We still really early in the stream. Kind of waiting for some more guys to get in here, especially Canelo fans, but they don't like to show up. They show up way after the fact when the stream is over, when the video's done. Then they come in a chat, and then they got a lot of stuff to say. They be in the comment sections after the fact. So I'm gonna have to go and unblock some of these guys that was getting kind of disrespectful. I'm just go ahead and unblock them and see if they'll be on their best behavior. I got to figure out how to do that because I don't really block people. I don't really know how to even go find that stuff. Hey, Bud, dead ass serious, bro. And I noticed that Canelo after the fight, I finally seen the video of him talking about the skull fight after the fight, and he said, "Yeah, this is why I don't like these styles. I don't like fighting these type guys, you know, because they try to survive." He said something like that. I'm thinking like, bro, you was not the guy I would call to participate in the Kumite, dog. You was not that guy, bro, because you need fighters to fight a certain way in order for you to look good. That's the big thing for me with this whole Canelo Alvarez thing, is that he absolutely has to have the fighter kind of come to him in order for him to make something happen. Otherwise, you'll get a performance like we just saw this past Saturday. It showed me that he's really very one dimensional, that his bag isn't too deep, and he's very limited. William Skull took away everything Canelo had to where he was only reduced to body punching. Come on, man. Say what you want about that dude's performance. But he took away everything Canelo had, and all Canelo was reduced to was to body punching. Guess what? Box fans say, well, William Skull didn't come to fight, blah, blah, blah. Jamel Charlo didn't either. Jamel Charlo sat on the ropes for Canelo to work on him and hit him in his arms and all this other stuff, right? Yeah, he didn't come to fight either. But he could have literally did the same thing William Skull did, but threw more punches. It don't seem like it's a really hard fight. Hey, don't the Latino boxing fans ain't coming out right now. They'll wait till after the stream is over. Because they know what they saw, bro. They saw what we saw. And they know Crawford is a bad dude. You know what I'm saying? They know Crawford is a bad dude. But they gonna stay on code. The Mexican boxing fans, the Mexican Canelo fans, they're gonna stay on code regardless. You may have a few guys that be like, yeah, Crawford gonna kick his ass, but in general, you go a lot of the Latino guys are going to ride with Canelo just because they go stay on code. And I ain't got no problem with it. You said looks like Charlo and Skull had the same game plan, but yeah, they did. But William Skull made Canelo look like Jamel got dropped and shit, and Canelo throwing these like fluky punches and like, bro, hold up, let me see. I don't even think I got it on here no more. Hold up. He throwing these crazy punches that Jamel saw coming, and he just sat there and just ate it and shit. Like, bro, that's so fucking stupid, dog. Like, I feel like watching some of Canelo fights, I feel like these dudes just be up in there to kind of just make them look good sometime, if I'm honest. I don't feel like a lot of guys, except minus Beevil, maybe a few other dudes, actually come out there to beat this guy. To actually go out there and beat him. Because it's not like it's rocket science on how to really deal with Canelo, not to mention his style in general, especially now. Maybe young Canelo about 3 years ago, he was a menace. But now, this guy, nah, man. He's about $100 million richer since then. And hold on, I'm kind of trying to see something real quick. Where is it at? I see the fight at this point. Canelo really only land that shot, bro. That one shot that Crawford may not see, or that shot that's gonna buzz him. You know what I'm saying? I don't see if I see it as if he can't do that, then it's gonna be a tough fight for him. And unless Crawford makes it a fight for him. So now Canelo's worried. He's probably worried too that Crawford is a fighter who can fight multiple styles. He don't know what style Crawford gonna bring to the fight. He can only hope that Crawford brings the fight to him, because that's his best shot. That's his best shot. If Crawford brings the fight to Canelo, because Canelo can't take the fight to him. He ain't gonna be able to keep up. He ain't gonna keep up. People just keep talking about power and weight classes. Since when did power be the end all be all to determine if a fighter's gonna win a fight? Since when? Since when is power is the only thing that, like, okay, He's powerful. He's strong. Okay, how strong? We know Bud Crawford's strong too, physically strong. But since when did power was the only factor for a fighter to win a fight? Because if that's the case, Arthur Beterbiev should never have lost against Dimitri Bivol. If that's the case, the bronze bomber Deontay Wilder should have never lost the fight. If that's the case, Big George Foreman should have, rest in peace to the old Super OG, would have never lost the fight. So nah, man. Give me something else. Give me another reason why Canelo wins outside of the politics. Because that's the reason why I would say he would win. The political advantage that he has in the sport. That's the only real advantage I see him having in this fight now. Let's argue. Let's argue. I see his only true advantage now is the politics of boxing. He's a cash cow. That's the only advantage he got in the fight. He don't got the height. He don't got the reach. He don't got the speed. He don't got the combination puncher. Crawford's still throwing combos. Canelo's looking like he's almost reduced to one punch at a time. I don't know. Maybe William Skull took that much away from him in that fight. Because all I seen him do was throw some body shots. Everything else was whiffing and missing. How he gonna get it done when he got two left feet? Crawford is a much better fighter than William Skull, who never ever even been on that stage before. Salute to everybody in the building, man. Hit that like button for your boy. Canelo versus Crawford debate, episode 1. I may change the title. I don't know yet. But I don't think it's going to be much of a debate. Something's telling me it's not going to be much of a debate because, well, the Canelo, the opposing party won't show. The opposing party won't show, or either that or they don't have a strong enough argument to partake on this episode. They don't have a strong enough argument no more. They can't say the weight. They can't say the height, size. They can't say nothing no more. And they definitely won't say it's because he's the political fighter. Now your boy Bushido will tell it to you like that. Yeah, he'll win due to politics. He'll lose, he'll win, he'll lose the fight, but win the match type shit. But they not gonna say that because they know that's some bullshit. That's like handicap shit. That's like some rigs type shit. So they're never gonna say that. They're just gonna say his power and the weight. I think it's gonna be a lot easier fight for Crawford than people think. I'm not saying it's easy because it's a fight, but it's gonna be easier than people think. I don't think it's gonna be that much of a struggle. What is there to figure out? Crawford been in the big moments before, right? So it's not like he's a somewhat of a green fighter on this stage or anything. Nah, none of that, bro. None of that, bro. This wasn't that. It's not a green fighter that may not be ready for the moment type of situation. Nah, this ain't that at all, bro. This ain't that at all. Y'all smash that like button for your boy. Hold up 1 second. Where is it at, man? Oh, here you go. It was something else too. Yeah. Should Bud have taken a tune-up fight in the meantime? I don't think it matters. I don't think it matters. Maybe Canelo shouldn't have either. But he had to get that belt for Crawford. He had to go get that belt. You say it's about to be a master class? Yeah, man. You say you root for Bud Heavy, but it ain't finna be a cakewalk? It depends on how Crawford fights, dude. That's what I think. I think Crawford can do whatever he wants in that fight. I think he can fight however he wants to fight. It depends on how what Crawford decides to do. Crawford could make that fight harder than it needs to be. I can tell you that. That's the way I see it. The way I see it now, as of right now, Crawford. It depends on how Crawford decides to take the fight. If Crawford takes it to Canelo and do all that, then he puts himself at risk to get caught with some shit. You know what I'm saying? Because Canelo, that's what Canelo kind of wants. He at this point of his career, he gonna want guys to kind of come to him. You know what I'm saying? He ain't trying to be moving around the ring and shit. He's a lazy fighter. So he's not about to be, he don't like to fight when he wants to, all that shit. So Crawford, it depends on how Crawford takes the fight. I think it'd be a lot easier. Get on the back foot, box, pop the jab out, switch stances, boom, 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 bam. He come in, check hook him. You know what I'm saying? Hit him with quick combinations, move around, befuddle him a little bit, body shot. You know what I'm saying? Jab to the body, stick him to the body, move around. I mean, it's easy work, bro. I ain't gonna. I mean, I'm sorry, I can't see it no other way. I can't see no other way than Crawford making it easier than people think it's going to be. You said Crawford should drown him late. Canelo do got stamina issues, and he likes to fight when he wants to fight. But Canelo could definitely make it 12 rounds. I say Crawford should try to go for the gusto if he gets that chance. Because even still, he's going to be down like 2 rounds, 3 rounds when he gets in that ring. So he still got to get to work. Because if for the rounds there's nothing happening in, they'll probably give it to Canelo. You know what I'm saying? So he'll have to steal rounds, shoe shine and shit if he needs to. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. Salute to LT, number one entry for the super chat. He said, outside of Bud, I think Bomac team is the best in the business. Yeah, they got a really good team, bro. There's three of them. They all work in. All seem to work well with each other, and they seem to have a lot of their fighters well prepared for whatever these other guys are bringing. And you best believe they gonna have Bud Crawford well prepared for whatever Canelo Alvarez and Eddie Reynoso is bringing. I think Team Canelo is probably a little bit more worried about this matchup than Crawford is. I think they're a little bit more weary of Crawford than he is of them. That's just my opinion. Yeah, of course, Crawford has the respect for Canelo, and Canelo is somebody not to be playing with. But yeah, it's gonna be. It's not. I don't think it's gonna be as hard as people think, man. Because if Crawford decides to get on the back foot and use his legs one last time, it's gonna be a really, really rough night for Canelo, bro. And we all know it. It's gonna be a really, really rough night for him. It's gonna be hard for him to keep up. He's gonna be like 2 steps behind, dude. Crawford's a switch hitter. It's insane. He's a southpaw and shit. You know what I'm saying? Which side your best side, but whichever one. Don't matter. I'm both. You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on, man. Tough fight for Canelo, bro. Canelo fans, y'all should be worried, man. Y'all should be worried. It's a tough fight. Benavidez is a total nightmare, but at least with Crawford, Canelo does have the natural advantage of being the guy that's been at that weight for longer and everything, and a political advantage. But I think every other advantage Crawford pretty much has. Counter punching. Well, no, I ain't gonna say every advantage. I would say Canelo got to be the more durable guy. You know what I'm saying? I would say that he's probably the more durable guy. Canelo's a sturdy dude. Not to say Bud isn't, but you just got to get at to Canelo because he's been at that weight. He's been fighting bigger guys. And Canelo took some big shots over the years, and it don't seem to really do shit to him. You said a while ago, Crawford tweeted someone he said before the Spence fight. He said, "If you only knew what I knew." Yeah, they probably trying to put clauses on him and shit. They probably were trying to put clauses on him behind the scenes or something, man. Some type of rehydration clause or some weird shit. That's probably what he meant, but I remember he said that. First thing came to mind, they probably trying to do some funny shit with the business that leads Crawford to believe that they really, really kind of fear dude a little bit, like they worried about him. I ain't gonna say fear, that's a strong word. I'm gonna say a little bit worried a little bit. So we just go downplay him. He too small. He can't, he get up in there and make something happen. Then what, bro? Floyd was too small too, right? Floyd's a smaller guy than Bud is. And Floyd was what, 37? Put up a masterclass. You said there's no way, just like Crawford should be taking over 154-pound division and reign king. Canelo is pretty much retired at this point, just like Tank Davis. I mean, man, why wouldn't he? I mean, if it was like Benavidez, I'd be like, hell no, that's a stupid fight to take. No way. But Canelo, yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. 'Cause Canelo's not that big, bro. And now everybody's seeing that Canelo, you see that? Canelo's retired. He's not the same no more. I've been saying this shit. I seen it coming for years now. So we not gonna give him that. Yeah, we seen it. And I've been saying it, but everybody was ignored it. Now you get in the William Skull fight, and you see that he's 3 steps behind this guy. Now everybody want to say it. Nah. Because I've been saying this dude's falling down the hill. You can see it. You said what Canelo is better, the one Floyd fought or the one Crawford is fighting? That's a good question, bro. Because I was going to allude to that when we was talking about the Floyd fight, because Floyd fought the young Canelo that they say after he beat him, he was too green, and now Crawford's fighting the older version of Canelo. Is he seasoned or is he past his prime now? So it's like it's going to be something, dude. It's going to be something. If Crawford dismantles Canelo and beats him pretty bad, they're going to say Canelo was shot and he was past his prime. So that's why I'm saying this shit now. Yeah, he shot, but you guys still think he has a shot. And you're going to see September 12th that he does not. It's going to be a dismantling.
Jab, jab, and left. And the precise pressure.
And meanwhile, the countering.
Ridiculous percentage.
Against a fellow.
With Sean Porter, he said that when you thought you...
On in the round. Crawford will counter as Spence moves forward.
The jab, the uppercut, and the counter.
Said I've seen enough. Here's where we're going to see the counterpunch. Tremendous work by Crawford.
Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? If he turns up like that, bro, if he shows up like that, bro, that intense, bro, Canelo's gonna have a rough night. Rough night, man. Nobody likes to get hit. Nobody likes to get hit, man. And Canelo's gonna be getting hit.
I started blowing after the second round.
Oh, nice uppercut.
Crawford does not come into fights.
And he's landing it. Good body shot.
That's what happened, Makimov. Nice shots. And that's why I told you in the beginning of the round, this is going to be a tough fight for Bud, man.
Good jab.
That's a good fight. He is jabbing.
And that's my thing. I feel like Bud, we can see Makimov even at this point still being patient.
But these guys are both throwing some haymakers now.
Whatever you do well, stay consistent.
It's like a.
As Crawford came in, Makimov did a nice job ducking out.
Ooh, good shot.
He overextended it. And boy, Crawford. Good uppercut for middleweight title.
You know, we've talked about Canelo a lot.
Come on, man. He's active. He's active, bro. He's not just not in there posing. You know what I'm saying? He's actually throwing punches. Yeah, that boy, he definitely go to work, don't he? You said Canelo not rugged enough. Not no more. If Canelo was a little bit more rugged, that'd be tough. But I don't think Canelo, he's too rich, man. Canelo ain't that hungry no more, bro. And then he's not Like, you know what I'm saying? He not the same dude he was 2-3 years ago. He's not. And he ain't that hungry. And Crawford got something that he wants, the glory. Canelo just doing this just to do it. He don't think Crawford stands a chance, but part of him do. Him and Eddie Reynoso got to get to work now, right now. Start studying tape right now. I don't know what they gonna do. Who they gonna bring in? Who they gonna bring in to emulate Terrence Crawford? Now smash the like button for your boy, man. This is a tough fight for Canelo, man. I'm curious to know. I'm curious to know how is he gonna get it done outside of catching Crawford with something. You know what I'm saying? So outside of that, does he just beat up Crawford every round? Does he outbox Crawford? Does Crawford get out countered by Canelo? Like, I don't see none of that happening, bro. And you don't either. Only thing you could possibly see if Crawford gets into a dogfight with this dude and gets caught with something big. Something big. Hold up, I'm trying to find. Virgil Ortiz said, what'd he say? Was it Virgil? I think it was on YSM. YSM Sports Media had the video. I think he said something about who was the hardest dude he been in the ring with. I want to say he said it was Carlos Adames. He said Carlos Adames was a motherfucker. And Bud Crawford was handling Carlos Adames at 140 pounds. This was years ago, back when he was 140, he was sparring Carlos Adames and that one dude back to back. And this is what Carlos Adames said, Bud Crawford's the best. He said, that dude's the best. This little dude up in here giving me work. He was giving Carlos Adames work. Let's see what Canelo's doing, man. We got to see what Canelo's doing. This might be Canelo's last fight, man. I can't find it. Hold up. I got so many clips and stuff. We gonna see what happens, man. I think it's gonna be tough for Canelo. Tell you that. It's gonna be tough. Hold up. I'm still trying to find it, but I guess I ain't gonna be looking for it. Thought it was like right here, but oh, here you go. All right, I found it. I was just about to close it out. No, it wasn't this though. It wasn't that, but I mean, look. Come on, man. That loaded up wide shit, man. You sat there and just let him hit you in the head like that, bro. Is this it?
Crawford always does a good job at being the one to finish the work with first and third work. Right there, he went first, expect a return, then he came back with the third shot. When the fourth shot came, good defense, he finished with the fifth shot. He's always the one to finish the sequence, finish the work. Beautiful. Here's another sequence of Crawford going first. And before he goes again, he's waiting on a return because he's a master counterpuncher. So now when the opposition comes with his second onslaught from the return, Crawford is already ready to counterpunch with his third finishing, which was a center left uppercut to the center. And he went down there again and got some good work going for himself. Good job. More first and third work by Crawford here as he anticipates, and once he decides to go first with his offense because he uses it as bait so you can react. He goes first. When you react, he's finished with the third shot. It works wonders for him every time in practice and in fights. Right off the rip, Crawford wanted to occupy the space just for a small distraction. He got a small reaction. He was fine with that. Then he goes with an active jab here. He goes with an active jab once again to get a reaction. He went first. The op went second. Crawford finished third.
Yep. Master counterpunch. That was Malik Scott with the commentary. But yeah, master counterpuncher, bro. Master counterpuncher. You said Crawford wins, maybe even by TKO. Anything can happen in boxing. That is true, Pancho. Yeah, Canelo can't. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm looking at Charlo like, bro, you like what? Come on, man. Canelo did that basic. You could have just like moved to the right, bro. Like just sidestep to the right real quick. You might have got hit by like a as he was pulling the hook. He may have tried to check you with the left hook or something, but it'd have been better than just getting hit with that straight right hand, that overhand right. Terrible. You said Bud would have stopped Charlo. Probably. Speaking of Charlo, I'm hearing rumors that Charlo and Keith Thurman is in the works. So be on the lookout for that. I'm not sure how true it is, but they saying they working on that. I would have rather at this point seen Keith and Tim Zeus since they got like a little storyline built up. But I guess Charlo is a good fight too. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that's a good idea for business. You know what I'm saying? But maybe business is bad. They need these two guys to fight each other to make some money. But you would think that they would try to build Charlo back up again, get his career going, and the same for Keith Thurman on two separate things. But making them clash against each other, they might cancel each other out. You said the PBC boys back at it. Yeah, Bud about to turn Super Saiyan for this one, bro. That's what he said. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not saying Crawford's going to stop Canelo because I have yet to see Canelo really like truly like really hurt like that in the fight. I seen Canelo get beat up and I seen him get outclassed and stuff like that, but I ain't never seen him like to the point where he was just like he was stunned, he was hurt. I mean, maybe back when he fought Miguel Cotto's brother years ago when he was young, but outside of that, we haven't seen him get hurt. We ain't never seen him get hurt. You said Bud stops Canelo. You said you predicting the KO round 6 through 9. Mm, I don't know. The KO is a yeah. Canelo got wobbled one time, and it was against I think it was against Miguel Cotto's brother when he was a welterweight. Back when he was a welterweight, he got like wobbled like one time. He recovered pretty well though. You know what I'm saying? But that's like the only time I truly seen Canelo hurt in a fight. You said Crawford is a lot older. Is he? Um, I would say Canelo's actually, as far as fighting, Canelo's older. Age, yeah. Prime, I think Crawford still got some prime in him. He ain't at his peak no more though, I'll tell you that. But he ain't as far down the hill as Canelo is. Yeah, Crawford's like 3 years older than Canelo. Canelo's young as shit, bro. He been around forever. But he got a lot of pro fights, bro. A lot of fights. A lot of fights. Which also means he got a lot of experience too. But he got a lot of fights, bro. You said Crawford is 38. Yeah, Floyd was 37, and he washed him, bro. You know what I'm saying? And he's still the more athletic, faster guy at 38. You know what I'm saying? It's not like Crawford's like slow. His punches ain't like slow. Of course, we gotta see how he looks at 68. It's gonna be a surprise to everybody. And I think he's doing that for a reason. Not taking an interim fight at 68, so nobody don't know nothing. I'm going right into the five. Don't nobody know nothing. Ain't no tape on me at 68. None of that. I'm going right into the fight, and I'm about to show you. That's what he's doing. He don't want nobody to know how he look at 68. Really, there's not too many guys that he can fight at 68, to be honest. A lot of those dudes is too big. Canelo's probably the smallest guy he could fight. Everybody else is too big. You said Crawford's still fresh for his age. Yeah, I agree, bro. I agree. I think he's still pretty fresh for his age. He's still 38 though, but I think he's a fresh 38. We ain't seen Crawford take too much damage over the years. He ain't getting dropped on the canvas and getting caught with too many big shots. Like we don't see Bud get beat up too much in fights. You know what I'm saying? We ain't seen Bud get really beat up like that. So I can see if he was getting beat up in fights and shit, but he don't be getting beat up. He takes some punches and shit, but he don't be getting his ass kicked. You said Floyd was 37 versus a 22-year-old weight-drained Canelo. Crawford is a 38-year-old versus a 34-year-old at his best weight. Is 68 Canelo's best weight? I don't know. I always thought he went up to 68 because it was right pickings. It was wide open at that time. You know what I'm saying? Because the guys at 68 was a little bit more dangerous. I mean, the guys at 160. You know what I'm saying? Style-wise, a little bit more dangerous. So he went up to 68 because it was smoke was clear. But then there was a monster named David Benavidez over there. There was a monster named David Benavidez over there. He didn't want to deal with that. Or Dave Morrell, for that matter. You say you want to see how he reacts when he gets hit by Canelo? That's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see. Canelo will have to hit Crawford. I don't think for Canelo, I don't think it'll be wise for him to load up on anything in that fight. It wouldn't be wise for him to load up on anything. He hasn't fought a counterpuncher like this since Floyd. You know what I'm saying? A guy that was countering like that. At the countering at that level, he hasn't really fought nobody like that since Floyd. So Canelo don't want to be loading up on nothing. It might not be that. It might be a kind of a boring fight. It might be kind of a boring fight. So just be prepared for that too. It may not be as exciting as we expect. It may be a boring fight. You said, do you think Turkey and Bug had the right judges? Yeah, I think so. You said Eddie Reynoso had no answers for Skull. No, he didn't, bro. Because there was no answer for it. Canelo simply just wouldn't be able to keep up with the guy. The only way that he would have been able to keep up with William Skull if that ring was way smaller, bro. There's no advice Eddie Reynoso could have gave him that was going to help him in that fight, bro. Why? Because of biology, just because of Canelo has naturally slow feet, bro. And he's up in there with a Cuban, let alone an Afro-Cuban. Man, he's lightning quick. He's in there with an Afro-Cubano. He's lightning quick. He ain't going to be able to catch this dude no matter what. They would have had to put shackles on William Skull's feet in order for Canelo to really do something with him, dog. That's the truth, bro. They would have had to put some shackles on his feet in order for him to do something. So if you're a mobile fighter, this is why he always publicly states, I don't like to fight those guys. Who says that? You a fighter, dog. I don't like to fight those guys. What the fuck is this shit? What that mean? What does that mean? I don't like to fight those guys. You're supposed to be the best fighter in the world. You're supposed to be able to beat anybody. Canelo don't believe he can beat anybody, bro. That's why. That's why he say stuff like that. I don't like to fight. He's like Pitbull Cruz too. Another one of those dudes that's super limited. Oh well, yeah. I don't want to fight those guys. They're boring and all this other shit. No, it's just because you can't do nothing with them. So I suggest them slick fighters that be go up in there and really beat the shit out of these guys that be saying that shit. Just go up in there and really, really beat the shit out of them and school them. School them to the point where they just never pass the grade and they just fall off the grid then. Since they don't want to figure out a way to win or figure out a way to overcome the lack of foot speed to get these guys as fast to feet because that's gonna always be a problem. So how you go fix that fucking shit? Oh, I just won't fight him. Or I just make the ring really small. Come on, man. You said, well, if Canelo quits on a stool, yikes. If he getting beat up real bad, I don't know, man. I don't know if I see Canelo quitting though. I don't know, bro. I don't me personally, I don't see a KO. I mean, Crawford probably could get a stoppage, maybe, but that's not something that I see. I see a domination though. And if he does get a stoppage, it'll probably be due to accumulation. But they'll give Canelo the benefit of the doubt for sure. You know what I'm saying? They'll give Canelo's a fighter. They'll definitely get a benefit of the doubt if he gets hurt in the fight. They'll definitely give him a chance to come back and recover. It's Canelo. They're going to give it to him if it happens. You said Crawford loves pressure fighters. Yeah, he do. He likes when dudes bring it to him. And Bud, the thing with Bud though that can give Canelo a chance in this fight is Crawford likes to fucking he's a risk taker, so he's gonna be in there in a fire trying to counter Canelo's punches at close quarters, trying to be slick and do all this stuff. So yeah, that's Canelo's best chance right there to lull Crawford into that type of fight to where Crawford's standing there being macho. And Bud definitely does that shit. He'll try that shit. He did it with Spence, but Spence didn't have nothing for him. He was catching and shooting and everything on dude. He couldn't do nothing with him. So we go see. I think Crawford's going to test Canelo's strength though early, see what he's feeling, and then if Canelo can't really, if he feels comfortable with the power, then I think he's going to fight. That's when he's going to make his. That's going to determine what type of fight he takes, how he takes the fight. Because I don't think Crawford necessarily goes into fights with game plans per se. I think he kind of just goes in there and feels everything out, and then he kind of goes off of what's going on. You say he starts out countering, ends up stalking. I can see that. Once Canelo realizes that he can't just hit Crawford when he wants to, the speed difference, once Crawford gets Canelo's timing down and Canelo's speed down, which I don't think will be pretty hard, because Canelo seems to throw a lot of this stuff the same speed. Um, Canelo and them got a lot of work to do, bro. If I'm honest, because Crawford's like a master boxer and shit. Not to say Canelo isn't, but Crawford's like a master boxer, bro. He's gonna have to have a. He gonna have to. There's gonna be a lot of things that he's gonna have to do. Because I don't think power is just gonna be enough. Power just not gonna be enough. Okay, yeah, I'm stronger than this guy, but he's hitting me every fucking time I make a move. Every time I swing, I'm getting countered. Boom, boom. And then you become gun shy. You be hesitant on throwing them shots now because every time you throw something, this dude hitting you with some shit that's stinging you. And we know Crawford's still throwing combos, all kinds of different combos. He's throwing them combos still. You say you think Canelo's gonna have to pressure him? I mean, that's his only choice, really. Or Canelo can do something he don't do. Is that make Crawford come to him? He got to make Crawford come to him. Basically, make it really boring to where people's booing, And Crawford, he's the type of guy that's going to take action. He'll take action. So that's Canelo's shot too, is to do something that he normally don't do, and that's to wait till the guy that comes to him. Because it's going to be tough for Canelo to keep up with Crawford for 12 rounds if he's not really landing shots on him. And he's getting countered and shit. Then he's a southpaw too. You know what I'm saying? Canelo, I mean, how well does he fight against southpaws? I mean, southpaws as he fought. So, what's up, Jessica? I see you in the building, sis. You said David Benavidez stops both of them? Well, David Benavidez is big. Damn near too big for both of them. He definitely too big for Bud. But I like how you move the goalposts. You said Crawford didn't look as sharp than Mitrov? No, he didn't. That wasn't his best performance at all. That wasn't his best performance. Mitrov was a pretty tricky fighter, man. Moving around a lot. He was moving around a lot. Canelo don't move around. Canelo don't got that kind of energy like Mitrov got, y'all. Come on. Mitrov was a guy that was herky-jerky, constantly moving. You know what I'm saying? And he looked better in the Bud fight than he did against Virgil, but he was moving around quite a bit. Quite a bit. Canelo don't move around like that no more, man. He don't move around that much. Canelo's a fighter that kind of always has stamina issues, too. So he's not going to be moving around like a Mitrov. But for what Canelo lacked for in the past, he was a good counterpuncher. I'm not quite sure if he's still that same good counterpuncher he was. Because I think his speed slowed down. You got to have good speed to be a really good counterpuncher. You got to have some speed. Canelo lost some speed. But he shines when he's the faster guy in the ring. He's able to counter these dudes. Or these sloppier fighters like Jaime Munguia. He's able to counter them type of guys. You said Mitrov switched his whole style up for Bud. Yeah, he did. He said you made Crawford seem like the greatest of all time. He might be. We go see. We go see, Mike Jones. He might be. He might be one of the greatest of all time. If he beats Canelo, yeah, shit. What could you say? He moving up 2 more weight classes to go ahead and take on Canelo. You know what I'm saying? He beat the dude. We got to give him like at least top 10, top 5. Maybe top 10 if you're a hater. Top 5 if you're a fan. You know what I'm saying? But that's a feat. You know what I'm saying? That's a feat to accomplish. To beat the political machine, Canelo Alvarez, bro. You say you see them Herman Mustard shoes Canelo had on? Yeah, he did. We talked about that earlier in the stream. He had them stacked shoes on, make him tall as Crawford. It was Canelo never wore those before. So yeah, man, he got some insecurities about this fight, bro. He was surprised at how taller Crawford was than him. You know, Canelo probably really 5'6". You know what I'm saying? You said Canelo's downfall from this fight was his complacency over the years. By not challenging himself, he never got better and improved. I agree. I agree with that. Because Canelo's a fighter who could fight anybody he wants. And he kind of fought guys that was kind of more tailor-made to him for a while. Every once in a while, he'll give a William Scola guy get a shot or something. But for the most part, dudes was tailor-made for him, or they wasn't too fast. Canelo don't like dealing with speed. Canelo hates speed because there's nothing he can do about that. You said Crawford is the most strategic of all time. What does that mean, Mike? He's the most strategic. I don't know, man. We go see, man. But we might be witnessing an all-time great in Terrence Crawford, bro. We might be really witnessing in real time. People just don't like to accept shit like that, but it could be. Like he could be like, or if he could be that guy. Like if he goes in there and just makes Canelo look like just like that'd be crazy even for me. Even though I'm saying it, seeing it actually happen, that'd still be crazy as hell, bro. If he goes up in there and shuts Canelo out worse than Floyd did, that'd be fucking crazy, bro. That'd be crazy. You said that European diet Canelo was on was some BS, and yeah, I agree. He was in that European tour for too long, fighting them fighters, man. Got stale. Maybe the what's the name was a kind of big component too, because Canelo was a lot sharper and faster some years ago, but that's just slowing down. It happens. Some dudes lose their shit sooner than others. You know what I'm saying? I think Canelo's at that point where he's kind of losing some steps. This might be the perfect time for Crawford to capitalize on this type of fight. Boxing's all about timing too, man. That's another thing. That shit's all about timing. This might be the right time. Just like it was the right time for Bivol to fight Better Beef. And maybe if Better Beef fought Bivol a few years ago, he probably wouldn't have won. But this is the right time for Bivol to fight Better Beef. You said Canelo had a better chance with Spence. I think so too. I think so too. Crawford seemed like he's stronger than Spence, man. Spence couldn't even move, dude. I was surprised to see how much stronger Crawford was. Spence could not move him. Actually, Miedemov couldn't even move him. He was spinning and moving Miedemov. So I don't know how strong this motherfucker really is, bro. If he's moving Canelo around and shit, yeah, man. Yeah. If he's moving Canelo around, yeah, that's a strong dude. Yeah, Spence versus Canelo was a huge thing, bro. That was the fight. Spence versus Canelo. That was the fight, man. Spence, Canelo was all excited about it. He talked about it because it was more of an easier matchup, bro. Spence is a little bit more straightforward than Crawford. Crawford is like that fighter. You don't know what this dude go do, bro. You don't know what he go do. He got too many different ways to approach the fight, bro. He just got a lot of different ways he could take the fight to you. He got a deep tool bag. He got a deep bag, bro. His bag is deep, bro. He got a lot of tools. We heard what Malik Scott said, man. Smash the like button.
Crawford always does a good job at being the one to finish the work with first and third work. Right there, he went first, expect a return, then he came back with the third shot. When the fourth shot came, good defense, he finished with the fifth shot. He's always the one to finish the sequence, finish the work. Beautiful. Here's another sequence of Crawford going first. And before he goes again, he's waiting on a return because he's a master counterpuncher. So now when the opposition comes with his second onslaught from the return, Crawford is already ready to counterpunch with his third finishing, which was a center left uppercut to the center. And he went down there again and got some good work going for himself. Good job. More first and third work by Crawford here as he anticipates, and once he decides to go first with his offense because he uses it as bait so you can react. He goes first. When you react, he finished with the third shot. It works wonders for him every time in practice and in fights. Right off the rip, Crawford wanted to occupy the space just for a small distraction. He got a small reaction. He was fine with that. Then he goes with an active jab here. He goes with the active jab once again to get a reaction. He went first. The op went second. Crawford finished third.
Yep. You said snack works. Come on, Mike. He said snack works. Well, maybe Spence needs some snacks, man. Like I said, Spence might need some snacks too then. He needs some snacks. Hold up. And automator. What's this? I don't know what the hell I just did. But yeah. You said you bums think skin color is the factor in winning. Nobody said nothing about no skin color. You said Crawford for president. Oh man. You said size won't be an issue in this fight. Beaver and Mayweather proved the blueprint on how to beat Canelo. Fast feet, range, defense, and hand speed are Canelo's. Yeah, absolutely, bro. Yep. Fast feet, range, defense, and hand speed. Yes, they are, bro. Those are his kryptonites, bro. He struggles with that. He struggles with that. You said Canelo too girthy. That sounded nasty, bro. Yep. That's what I think so too, Akuma. His only chance is a puncher's chance, bro. He literally only that's not very popular to say because it's Canelo, but let's be real, man. He only has a puncher's chance against this dude, bro. He only has a puncher's chance, bro. It's crazy to say because it's Canelo, but yeah, he only has a puncher's chance, and that's just what it is, bro. You said no Miles fight? I don't know. Canelo will have to bring it, man. Hopefully, there's not too much respect. Hopefully, there's not too much respect. But I don't think I don't think it will be. People actually said, "But if anybody else could beat Canelo, Crawford can do it." So you said Spence was drugged when he fought Crawford. Well, how come he ain't come back and try to redeem himself, bro? He should have came back to redeem himself. Oh, you said you think Canelo? Nah, I think those days are over for Canelo, bro. That version of Canelo would have been a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? That would have been a tougher fight for Crawford for sure. That version of Canelo, the one that was fighting Triple G, moving his head and shit. When he was back using defense, when he fought Jacobs and all that, back when Canelo had a lot more energy. Yeah, that's a much trickier fight. But the Canelo we see today, mm-mm. Post Clenbuterol, years later, post European tour, Canelo. Yeah, yeah. Suzu was supposed to be fighting. Sebastian Fundora vacated his belt. I guess some people say he's ducking Xander Zarias to go fight Tim Tszyu. So, yeah, I don't know. We go see. He's gonna rematch Tim Tszyu instead of fighting Xander. Xander really wants to smoke. It's looking to me like he's ducking Xander though. Yeah, Bud could be very reckless, bro. He's a dog, but he could be reckless. But he gonna have to be really disciplined because Canelo. You don't want to make no mistakes in that type of fight. You don't want to make too many mistakes simply because you don't know what the judge is gonna be on. You don't know what how the politics gonna play out. You don't want to get caught with nothing. Because even though I feel like Canelo is not, he's falling down the hill, he's still a dangerous, experienced fighter. You know what I'm saying? And you can't make too many mistakes against him if he can catch you. Because when he catch you, he will catch you. But Canelo got to be able to catch you at this point. You said Tim Tszyu. Hey, that's what I used to call him too before I knew what his Tim Tszyu. That's what I used to call him. Tim Tazoo. But y'all can't fault us for not knowing pronouncing these names, man. Tim Tazoo. The T is silent, Jamel. Yep. Canelo lacks the stamina. You cooking over there, Akuma. Canelo lacks the stamina to maintain that head movement style he had years ago. He don't got that same stamina to do that now. So he'll rather just kind of hold the high guard up or try to roll with it. But yeah, man, Canelo don't have the same stamina that he once had to be doing what he was doing. He ain't throwing combos like that no more. Yeah, man. This is gonna be interesting. He can still crack though for sure. That power ain't going nowhere. Crawford better not get too cocky in there with the guy. I wouldn't recommend it. But I say for the first 6 rounds, he gonna have to fight a really first 4 or 6 rounds. He's gonna have to see what this dude is about. You said calling himself the face of boxing, but he can't cut off the ring. Yeah, I know, right? Can't cut off the ring, man. Mm-mm. No, Canelo's not like a fighter that could deal with any style, man. He just can't. There's some dudes that's gonna always be problems for him. And that's usually the speedier guys with quick hand speed, good defense, and some range, quick feet. Guys that got good feet, good distance. They give Canelo problems. But if you're a guy like Minguia or Berlanga, hell, that's right up his alley. You said nobody wants Bakaram Mutarelvis. Nah, nobody don't want to deal with him, bro. They don't. They don't want to deal with that. They saw what he did to Tim Tszyu. They said, nah, I'm good. He ain't got no name like that, and he dangerous as hell. Nah, he gonna have to do something else. Yeah, Floyd got cat-like reflexes, man. And Floyd, it's almost like Floyd knew what Canelo was gonna do. He was like 3 steps ahead of Canelo. He was literally like 3 steps ahead of him. Well, Canelo just couldn't do nothing with him. That was one of Floyd's easiest fights. Because styles make fights. And Crawford can make it just as easy. Especially this Canelo. He said, I want to see Spence fight somebody. I don't even know if Spence is fighting again at all, bro. It's tough to say if we go ever see the big fish in there in the ring again, man. He may not come back to boxing. You would think that he would have tried to come back by now, but I think it might be over for Errol Spence, dude. He don't got his training no more. I mean, he literally fights like Derrick James. You know what I'm saying? That's literally his style. Is literally exactly like Derrick James. What is he gonna do now? Change up his whole style? You know what I'm saying? At 35 years old, 34 years old, completely change his style up? I don't know. I don't see that as being really practical for him. He was literally Derrick James Jr. Except he was a southpaw, more athletic. Yeah, Spence versus Thurman definitely could still be a fight, man. They tripping. That fight should be happening, bro. Spence and Thurman definitely should be happening. But, I don't know. Yep, Thurman versus Jamel in the works. That's the rumor. I was actually surprised to hear that Keith Thurman take that type of fight. So maybe Keith can make something happen, though. Keith Thurman still seems like he got some go in him. Still seems like he can still rumble. So, yep, you ain't lying about that, Easy to Great. You said Crawford about to take the Bivol and Floyd fight versus Canelo and maybe a little Lara. All three was 3 different ways to beat Canelo. Yep. That's what I said. The blueprint is out there on how to beat him. But how do you beat Crawford? You know what I'm saying? He's the one that's actually undefeated. He's the one that's actually undefeated. How do you beat him? How do you beat a guy with a style like that? Unless you catch him with some shit. He's strong as shit. He's strong as a bull, so it'd be kind of hard to bully him. He's counter punching. He's throwing a different variety of punches. He's uppercutting. He's hooking. He's doing all kinds of different shit. So the puzzle to solve is for Canelo, but he just has such a high. He has such a political advantage in the sport that that's still a big advantage. You saw what happened in the skull fight. They was gonna get at Canelo regardless. He was gonna get that win regardless. You said Derrick James Jr. is great. Yeah, go watch Derrick James fight, bro. If you never seen him fight, he fight just like the Errol Spence fights, just like that. Except Derrick James is a conventional fighter. But yeah, you guys, I don't know, man. We go see. This is the first episode. Hopefully next time we get some more Canelo fans in here who has a strong argument. But I don't think they got one right now. They gonna have to find something from one of their content creators who's gonna find something, and then they may stick with that. But for now, I say Canelo really only has a puncher's chance, and it does sound crazy, I know. But I don't. What else could he do? He's gonna out jab him. You know what I'm saying? Is he gonna out jab Crawford? Is he gonna be cutting off the ring? How's he gonna trap him without setting up the trap? I mean, come on, man. There's a lot of things, bro. But no. But I say the biggest. I say this for Canelo though. His biggest thing for him in this fight will be to get Crawford to fight his fight. And Crawford is macho enough to do that shit. It's pretty reckless. He'll go up in that fire because he's willing to see what it's feeling like. He's one of those dudes. So that's Canelo's biggest shot, bro. Other than that, and I don't think his hardcore fans would like to admit nothing like that because it sounds like, well, he's giving Canelo, some help. But really, yeah, he'll have to give Canelo some help and come to bring the fight to him. Now, if Crawford decides to fight however he wants to fight, it's going to be interesting to see if Canelo can deal with it. Salute to LT Energy for another shot. He says, Bud definitely doesn't know how to lose yet. No, he don't. I think that's a lot of things people forget. Now, he's the undefeated fighter. There's no really blueprint on how to beat this guy. There's no blueprint on how to beat Terrence Crawford yet. There's no blueprint. It's Canelo. Does he have the right style to do it? You know what I'm saying? I say if Canelo does get the victory, it'll possibly be because of the political advantage. If it goes to the decision and Canelo and Crawford pretty much wins the fight, they may still possibly give it to Canelo. But we'll see, though. That's going to be the most interesting thing about it. If it goes to decision and it wasn't necessarily a total domination, but Crawford probably in most eyes won the fight, they'll probably still give it to Canelo. You know what I'm saying? We got to see if that still holds true, though. So Bud's got to get to work. You said Canelo is bigger than Bud? Yeah, but he still got to wear them stacked shoes. He only got 10 unanimous decision wins, bro. 31 KOs with 10 unanimous decision wins out of those 30 KOs, 31 KOs. No split decisions, no draws, no majority decisions, just either unanimous or knockout. Hey, Crawford's power jab against Spence was nasty too. See, he couldn't do that because Miedemov was moving around a lot. And then Crawford had to kind of bring the fight to Miedemov. And this is why I said that'll be Canelo's best chance is to just kind of make Crawford kind of come to him. But I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see, man. No fishy decisions, no none of that, bro. That's what I'm saying, bro. What's the blueprint on beating this dude? What's the game plan? How do you beat a guy like that when you can't even keep up with a guy like William Skull, bro? But yeah, you guys, I gotta get up out of here. This is the first episode of Canelo versus Crawford debate. Hopefully next time as we get things, materialize and stuff like that, we get some more people in here on a panel to talk about it, get you guys' thoughts. We'll start opening up the panel again. And hopefully we can get some guys who really believe that Canelo can win. And I want to hear a good reason how and why. You know what I'm saying? Because for right now, my only way I can see Canelo win is that lucky punch, that magical punch, the politics, or Crawford actually fights Canelo fight a majority of the damn fight. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, I don't really see what Canelo can really do with this guy. But if anybody else have a good argument on what Canelo can do, leave it in the chat because I know you guys is listening now. You're gonna wait till the stream shuts down, and then you're gonna be on in the comment sections later on. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Thank you guys for stopping in. Thank you guys for donating to the dojo today. Yeah, catch you guys on the next one. Love you, mom. Peace out.